The First Sino-Japanese War was fought between the Qing dynasty on one side and the Empire of Japan on the other from August 1, 1894 to April 17, 1895. This war also signaled the end of the last feudal dynasty of China when the Qing dynasty gradually weakened both politically and militarily, and they were inferior to Japan in all aspects. This war also marked the time when the Asian region shifted its control from China to Japan. This is also considered a fatal blow, proving that Japan's trade-off of tradition for modernity was wise and China's conservative, trying to preserve outdated values, was wrong. Chinese and Japanese historians also believe that the First Sino-Japanese War was the cause of the Xinhai Revolution that overthrew the Qing dynasty in 1911. The cause of the First Sino-Japanese War originated in Korea. Japan wanted to expand its colonies to the mainland, and their first target was Korea, a country protected by the Qing dynasty. In 1876, Japan forced Korea to open trade with them and forced this country to separate from the Qing dynasty, becoming an independent country, no longer under the control of the Beijing court. A bloody coup broke out in Korea when pro-Japanese reform groups overthrew the pro-Chinese ruling class. The pro-Chinese faction in Korea requested military aid from the Qing dynasty and was accepted. After many provocative events between China and Japan in the Korean peninsula and in Shanghai, the Sino-Japanese War officially broke out on August 1, 1894. The Imperial Japanese Army proved to be overwhelming on all fronts, with a modern fleet of warships equipped with large naval guns, and an army using modern Western weapons. They defeated the Qing army on all fronts with a complete overwhelming victory. Taking advantage of this advantage, Japan immediately attacked Taiwan, occupied the entire island, and also occupied the Penghu Islands off the coast of Taiwan. Suffering about 35,000 casualties, China was completely outnumbered and forced to make concessions after 8 months of fighting. As a result, China was forced to recognize the independence of Korea, lost all influence over Korea, ceded Taiwan, Penghu, and the Liaodong Peninsula to the Japanese Empire. In addition, the Qing side also had to pay Japan 200 million taels of silver in war reparations. Later, under pressure from Western countries, Japan also gave up the Liaodong Peninsula in exchange for another 30 million taels of silver from China. There is much information about the war reparations that China had to pay to Japan. Among them, there are documents stating that the Qing dynasty had to pay a total of 340 million taels of silver in various forms to Japan, equivalent to 6.4 times Japan's budget revenue at that time. The Sino-Japanese War helped the Chinese realize that reforming the army and equipping it with large quantities of Western weapons was imperative and could not be delayed any longer. After the war, the Qing dynasty sought to purchase a large number of more modern weapons for its army, but this move by the Qing dynasty was too late. The feudal Chinese army had not yet modernized, and the feudal era of China had been wiped out. The return of the Liaodong Peninsula also made Japan unhappy, especially when the Russian Empire leased the Liaodong Peninsula from China in 1898 and began to charge fees for Japanese merchant ships passing through here, causing tensions between Japan and Russia to escalate. Also from this war, Japan officially sat at the same table with Tsarist Russia. The Qing dynasty was quickly pushed aside and completely lost its position as a great power in the Asia-Pacific region at that time.